All right, so are you ready to unlock some like cosmic wisdom? We're diving deep today into sacred geometry and numerology with this really cool source. It's called the Flower of Life Quantum Oracle, but this is not like your typical tarot card reading.
It's not your like fortune cookie kind of reading, is it?
No.
It's more like a roadmap, right? We're
Exactly.
using these ancient symbols
Yeah.
to kind of tap into these universal patterns like this cosmic code that connects us all.
And speaking of codes, there's this whole thing about these quantum keys. Have you heard of these?
Yeah.
108 of them.
Yeah. 108.
And each one is like tied to this very specific energy and meaning.
Right.
Is there something about that number 108?
Yeah. It's interesting you say that because 108 is like the universe's favorite number. You see it everywhere. So like 108 beads on a man lie, 108 lines of energy converging at the heart chakra.
Okay.
It's about aligning with this like cosmic harmony.
Yeah.
And this deck breaks it down into 108 keys.
Wow.
Which is cool. They're split into these two really cool sections.
Okay.
We've got the cosmic mandala, which is all about like the big picture metaphysical questions, like,
Right.
like why are we here kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you've got the earthly mandala, which is more about, okay, how do we use this cosmic wisdom in our day-to-day,
I like that.
the nitty-gritty of life?
Okay, so let's start with that cosmic mandala. I'm really interested in that.
Okay.
One of the shapes in there that really jumped out at me was the seed of life.
Okay.
7 interlocking circles. It looks like if you were gonna, like draw the 7 days of creation, this is what it would look like.
Doesn't it? It's like a blueprint
Yeah.
of how things unfold.
Yeah.
Not just in the universe, but in our own lives too.
Oh, okay.
Like think about a recent goal that you set.
Okay.
Are you in that seed of life phase where each step builds on the last to create something new? Or are you stuck in a rut?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I'm definitely feeling stuck in some ruts right now. But okay, I like that.
Yeah.
That's a good way to look at it. And you know what else unfolds in a really interesting way?
What's that?
The Fibonacci spiral.
Oh, yeah, the Fibonacci spiral.
I mean, it's everywhere you look.
It's mind-blowing, isn't it?
Seashells, galaxies. Like,
Yeah.
how is that even possible?
Right. And that's the thing about that spiral.
Yeah.
It's all about natural progression.
Okay.
Like if you were to pull that card,
Yes.
maybe it's a sign that you need to be patient
Oh, gosh.
and just let things kind of unfold at their own time.
Which is like way easier said than done. I feel like I'm more of that like make it happen now kind of person.
Oh, yeah, me too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why the cube really spoke to me. That solid, like grounded energy.
A cube, yeah.
It's like, yeah, big dreams, but let's like build something real here.
And that's what's so cool about this oracle is it meets you where you're at. So that cube, it's like a high five and a wake-up call at the same time.
Oh.
Like upright, you're building a solid foundation.
Okay.
But if it's reversed, watch out.
Oh.
Might be time to trade in those daydreams for some concrete action.
I like it. I like it. Okay, so speaking of twists and turns, what about that Ouroboros?
Oh, the Ouroboros.
That always kind of freaked me out. I don't know why.
That's a little freaky, isn't it?
The snake eating its own tail.
Yeah, but think about it. It's like the ultimate symbol of cycles, right?
Yeah.
Endings lead to new beginnings and so on.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
it's a good reminder that even when things feel chaotic,
Right.
there's a natural order to things.
I kind of find that comforting in a way.
Yeah.
That even if things are like out of control, there's still this order to it.
Yeah.
Okay, what about the heptagon?
The heptagon.
7 sides.
7 sides.
7 days of creation.
It's a powerful number.
Yeah, it feels powerful.
So the heptagon is all about integrating these different parts of yourself. The physical, emotional, the spiritual,
Oh, wow.
Think of it like a spiritual deep dive.
That's pretty cool. Okay, so this one might be my favorite.
Okay, what is it?
The Sri Yantra.
The Sri Yantra. Tell me about it.
Okay, so picture this. 9 triangles,
Okay.
all interlocked, and it makes this like perfectly balanced design.
Wow.
It's like you're looking at the entire universe,
Yeah.
but just in this one symbol.
Right, and it's a powerful symbol of creation itself.
Yeah.
That feminine energy, the interconnectedness of everything.
It kind of makes you realize that we're all just like this small part of something way bigger than ourselves.
Yeah.
Right?
Totally.
It's amazing. It's just mind-blowing to me. Okay, so we've explored that cosmic mandala, those really big universal shapes.
Right.
But how do we actually like bring that down to earth? I mean, that's where this earthly mandala comes in, right?
Exactly. The earthly mandala gets into how these like cosmic patterns actually show up
Okay.
in our everyday lives.
I like it.
So it's like we're looking through 9 different lenses at our experience.
Okay.
And those 9 lenses are circles, squares, triangles, spirals, waves, crystals, fractals, grids, and stars.
9 realms. That's a lot. Okay, so where do we even begin? I mean, what about circles?
Circles.
They always make me think about like relationships.
Yeah.
That feeling of connection.
Completion.
Yeah.
You're right. The circles realm is all about relationships. So romantic friendships, family, even our connection with ourselves.
Oh, wow.
It's about those emotional bonds.
Yeah.
The give and take, finding that wholeness
Right.
within those connections.
It's like that partnership card that we were talking about earlier, those 2 like celestial bodies.
Exactly.
Just in perfect orbit with each other.
And just like those celestial bodies, relationships need a strong foundation to really thrive.
Oh, that's a good point.
And that's where the squares realm comes in,
Okay, the squares.
providing structure stability. You know, those grounding forces
Yeah.
that help us navigate the material world.
It's true. You need a solid foundation to like build a house, right?
Exactly.
Relationships aren't that different when you really think about it.
No, they're not.
Yeah,
And they need that security, that stability.
for sure. Okay, so we talked about squares. What about triangles? Those always make me think of like movement and change.
Yeah, that dynamic energy.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Triangles are all about transformation
Yeah.
and aspiration. So it's like that upward momentum, leaps of faith, those aha moments
Yeah, those are good.
that propel us forward.
It's like when you finally commit to that big goal or you take a chance on something brand new.
Yes.
It's exciting, but it's also a little bit scary.
It is. It's that unknown.
Right.
And I think that's what the triangles realm is all about.
Okay.
It reminds us that growth often requires us to embrace those unknowns, to step outside of our comfort zone
Yeah.
and just trust the journey.
And speaking of journeys, the spirals realm feels very appropriate.
Oh, tell me about it.
I feel like we're always on these like ever-expanding cycles of learning and growth.
Always learning.
Always. It
Yeah.
kind of goes back to that Fibonacci spiral that we were talking about earlier. It's
Okay.
always just like expanding and evolving.
Life is a process. It's not a destination,
Ooh, I like that.
right? And the spirals realm encourages us to embrace the ups and the downs,
Okay.
knowing that every experience, whether it's positive or challenging, contributes to our growth and our understanding.
That's a good point.
It's about finding the lessons in the spirals of our lives.
I like that. Okay, let's talk about the waves realm.
Oh,
Because that one feels very emotional to me.
it does. It's like those ever-changing tides, right?
Exactly.
So the waves realm is all about our inner world, our emotions, our intuition, that constant ebb and flow within.
It's true.
Like waves crashing on the shore, our emotions rise and they fall. And learning to navigate those inner tides is key to finding that sense of inner peace.
Oh, wow. So it's like learning to ride the waves and not get swept away by them.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think the waves realm reminds us that it's okay to feel those emotions fully,
Okay.
acknowledge their power, and then just let them flow through us without judgment.
Sometimes those waves lead us to some pretty amazing aha moments.
Yeah, they do.
Those moments of clarity, and I feel like that's where the crystals realm comes in.
The crystals realm.
Yeah.
Yes. What do you think about when you think about crystals?
Well, they're beautiful,
They are beautiful.
but they're also formed under like intense pressure.
Yeah.
Like deep within the earth.
Deep within the earth, and it takes a lot of time.
It does.
And it's those experiences that seem really challenging in the moment that help us create something so beautiful and powerful.
Okay, I like that. So it's a good reminder that sometimes those tough times, those moments of pressure, they help us discover our strength.
Exactly. And as we cultivate that inner strength and clarity, that's when we can start to manifest our desires and bring our dreams into reality.
Speaking of manifestation, the fractals realm always kind of throws me for a loop.
What is it about the fractals that throws you off?
It's just this idea that you can zoom in on a tiny little fractal and it looks exactly like this huge, expansive universe.
It's mind-blowing, isn't it?
It's incredible.
And that's the beauty of fractals.
Yeah.
It's those infinitely repeating patterns that show us that everything is connected. What seems really small and insignificant can actually have this ripple effect far beyond what we can even imagine.
Right.
And it's a powerful reminder that we're all part of this intricate, interconnected web.
That's a good point. Okay, so I have to admit the grids realm always makes me think about like spreadsheets,
Really?
which is not really my thing. But there's got to be more to it than that.
There is. There is Think about the grids realm as the systems and frameworks that help us make sense of the world, that help us
Oh,
create order out of chaos. So it's not just about being organized,
okay.
but it's about understanding the structures that support us both within ourselves and in the world around us.
So it's about finding those systems that help us thrive.
Yes,
Okay, so from those grids, we reach for the stars.
we do.
This stars realm feels like pure magic.
It does, doesn't it?
All about aspirations and dreams, that sense of like infinite possibility.
It is. It's about connecting to that cosmic energy, that sense of wonder and inspiration that reminds us that we're capable of amazing things. It's about trusting your intuition and taking those leaps of faith,
Right.
even when you're not quite sure where you're going to land.
It's like when you look up at a night sky
Yeah.
and it's just filled with stars and you remember that like anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
You're right.
And as we align our energy with those aspirations, the universe conspires to make it happen.
I love that. Okay, so we covered a lot of ground here.
We did.
We went from like those really basic shapes to these really kind of intricate realms.
Right.
This oracle is like a crash course in cosmic living.
It's pretty amazing, isn't it? It's
Hmm.
amazing how these ancient symbols still feel so relevant
Yeah.
to our modern lives,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
It really goes to show that those universal patterns, those cosmic energies,
Right.
they're woven into like the fabric of our being.
It's like we have this like cosmic toolbox now
Yeah.
filled with all these insights and guidance to help us like navigate our own path.
And you get to choose your own adventure.
Exactly.
That's the beauty of it,
Yeah,
you know?
sure.
There's no right or wrong way to use this oracle. It's all about trusting your intuition and finding those whispers of wisdom that really speak to you.
It's like having this conversation with the universe.
It is.
You know, you're asking these big questions and then you have to be open to receiving those answers
Yes.
in some really unexpected ways.
You never know where they're going to come from. And I think maybe that's the biggest takeaway from our deep dive today.
Okay.
That sense of openness,
Yeah.
that willingness to see the magic
Yeah.
and the interconnectedness in absolutely everything.
It's about approaching life with a sense of wonder and curiosity.
Yes.
Trusting that you're exactly where you're meant to be and embracing all those cycles of growth and transformation.
Beautifully said. That's it. And remember this deep dive, it was really just a starting point. There's so many more layers to explore with each of these quantum keys.
As you're like going about your day-to-day life, pay attention to those shapes, those numbers, those little whispers of wisdom.
Yes.
What spoke to you?
The ones that light you up.
Right.
Let them be your guide. Let them be your inspiration as you create this life that's filled with purpose and joy.
I love it.
And that sense of wonder that comes from knowing you're a part of something so much bigger than yourself.
Beautifully said. And for everyone listening, what shape are you going to use to ask the universe your question?
Ooh, good one.
Until next time, keep exploring.